Hi everybody and welcome to my tutorials. In this tutorial, I'll be introducing Python modules. So let's get started. So in this tutorial, I'll be teaching how to create your own module in Python and how to import a module that is created by Python. So let's get started. So what is a module? A module is a library that will give us extra features that Python doesn't give us. So there are many types of modules, and some of those modules help us create games, create apps, create websites, create functionality, do math, and all kinds of other features that Python doesn't give us. Then to use those features from the modules, we need to use Python's import. So let's get started. So before I show you how to create your own module, how does a module work? So a module is a group of files that are stored somewhere on your computer. And then to access those files, I need to use Python's import function. And that's because to use the features from the module, I need to import the module to my file that I'm currently coding in, and then it will unlock all the features that module gives me. So let me show you how to create your own module in Python. So first of all, to get started, you need to have two Python files in the same folder. So as you see over here, I created a folder and I have my two files inside it. So the first file is main.py, and this is the file where I want to use the features from my module. And in this file, module.py, I'll be writing my module. So let's get started. So inside my file, module.py, first of all, I want to create a function. So I'll type in def, then I'll give it a name. So I'll name it numbers, and you will see why. So numbers, parentheses, colon, and then next I will put in a for loop, so for I in range. And then up here I'll add a argument, and I'll name it num. And then between the parentheses of the range, I'll type in num. So after I do this, I want to print I. And basically what this will do, it will basically print the numbers between the number 0 and the number the user entered as the parameter. Okay, so this is basically my module. This is not a really fancy module. Usually modules that you will install are built with hundreds of functions. So this is just for an example. So after I'm done with my module, I need to go back to my main file, and this is the file where I'm going to be importing my module to. So in this file, I need to import, and then after I type in import, I need to actually write the name of the module. So because up here, the name of the file is called module.py, that means that my module's name is module. So I'll type in module. So the name of the module depends on the name you gave your file that you wrote the module. Okay, so after I import in the module, I need to actually tell Python to look inside the module file. So let me show you. So I need to type in module, basically the name of the module, dot, and then now I could write my method. So because I want to call the numbers function from this file, I need to type in module dot numbers, parentheses, and then between the parentheses I need to put in a parameter or an argument as it requires me to. So I'll put in the number 10 for the argument, and then this is basically how to get a command from my module. So before I run the code, I need to put this line of code in a variable. So I'll name the variable number or num. And then after that, I can just print num. And when I run the code, as you see, I get 10 digits in my terminal. And if you're asking how come doesn't it display the number 10 in the terminal, that's because Python starts counting from the number 0. So if I enter the number 10, Python will start from 0 and end at 9. So this is basically the module I created. So now let me explain how does this module work. So basically, when I type in import module, I'm basically telling Python to unlock the features from that module and allow me to use them. And then after I import my module, I need to type in module dot and then the method I want to use. So because the feature I want to use is the numbers feature, so I needed to type in module dot numbers, because if I didn't write the module at the start, Python wouldn't know what does this function numbers belong to. So if I didn't have the module dot at the start, Python wouldn't know what function is numbers, because in my main file over here that I'm currently coding on, I don't have any function that's named numbers. So that's why you have to type in module dot, because it tells Python to look inside the module file and then from that file call the numbers function. So this is basically how each module works. Okay, so now let me show you how to import a module that is created by Python. So I'll hashtag the code in this function, and the module I'll be teaching you is called the random module. So to import that module, I need to type in import random. Okay? So there are some modules that automatically install on your computer when you download Python. And there are some modules that you need to install using something that's called pip. And I wouldn't show you how to do that in this tutorial. So the random module is a module that is built in Python. So you don't have to worry about installing it. So after I imported random, I need to type in random dot to tell Python to look inside the random file. And then after that, if I open my browser, I have a big list over here of all kinds of methods I could use with the random module. So in this tutorial, I'll be teaching the randint method. So if I go back to my code, and I'll type in random dot, and then randint, because that's the method I want to use. So random.randint, and then I need to put in 2 arguments. So the first argument will be the number 0, and the second argument will be the number 15. And you'll see exactly why I picked these 2 numbers. So before I run the code, let me give you a better example about a module that you import using Python. So now let me give you a better example to help you understand how does a module work. So basically, random is a library in Python. So when I'm importing random, I'm basically importing the entire library. And then when I want to use randint, and randint is a subject inside the random module. So if I just type in randint without the random at the start, Python wouldn't know what library does the randint subject belong to. So that's why it's important to type in random.randint. That's because it tells Python to look inside the random library, and from that library import the randint subject or method. So after you did this, I'll put this line of code in a variable. So num, and then I'll print num. And then when I'm done, I can run the code. And as you see, I get a random number between 0 and the number 15. So if I run the code multiple times, I will get all kinds of different random numbers between the number 0 and the number 15. So of course, if you would want to change this feature, you could change it, let's say, between the number 10 and the number 15. So now when you run the code, you would only get numbers between the number 10 and the number 15. So this is basically the random module in Python. So what can the randint method be useful for? So for example, you're creating a casino or a game that will give the user a random amount of credits at the end of the game. For those stuff, you need to use the randint method. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. So in the next tutorial, I'll be teaching another module, and with that module, we'll be creating graphic designs as I showed in the advertisement video. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, share this video with friends, and subscribe to stay updated on other fun Python tutorials coming soon. Thanks for watching.